Good afternoon, Dr. Hammel. It's Beth Ryan from Madison, Alabama. Once again, thank you for your generosity in working with me and your compassionate understanding. There's a lot of things that have happened, and you have to use a sense of humor with what's going on today because this is my second attempt with the PowerPoint presentation. The first one went to La La Land. And the printer is not working. So we're using the computer, and some of my materials are also rudimentary. So please, I apologize to you about that. Here we go. Case study, inclusive learning in music, teaching music to students with special needs. This course is being taught by Dr. Hammel. This presentation is once again by Beth Ryan, and we're in an inclusive community. The 6 domains: cognitive, physical, emotional, communication, sensory, and behavior. Fun graphic there. My use of color, modality, and pacing in this particular exercise is you were using lots of color, with adaptations, larger, simple fonts, posters, pictures, and we're rearranging. The pace, we either slow down, we speed up as the child needs it, we circle around to make sure and go backward and forward and make sure that the child and children are understanding their cues or understanding verbal and written instructions. And we're also giving choices and using that 5-second rule when communicating. The center, of course, is around children, and they also ask lots of questions. We're also using oral mechanisms, headphones, videos. I've attached the videos in the slide presentation that I would be using ahead of time just to get the children really relaxed and settle down and engage with each other. There's really 3 fun videos that I've attached. And I don't personally have an assistive learning technology device, but that would be used in the classroom if needed as well. If we need to modify instruments, we'd certainly do that. With this particular exercise, I don't think we would need to have one. And we also want to give good choices and use the buddy system as appropriate. In a group setting, we'll use the circle setting with that seating chart, and we'll also use the buddy system or else the self. This is a case study on 7-year-old Sophia. She's recently moved here from a larger school across town. She's lively, she loves art, music, and dance. Her parents thought it might help Sophia, who's a speaker of another language, to be in a smaller school to help her improve her reading comprehension and English language skills. And those skills are below the 2nd grade level, according to her assessments and aptitude tests. She's in the 1st grade special needs class. In her IEP, she does have to have sessions with special education team and meet with a speech therapist. She brings a joyful disposition and a willing, enthusiastic attitude, along with loving and caring parental involvement. The IEP modifications for Sophia: the modality, able to complete oral tests in a group with help from another buddy, can respond to all kinesthetic prompts, receives oral instructions sometimes, and we've already discussed that with assistive technology, notes and pictures, with some written work is sent to the classroom teacher to send home to parents to assist. We talked about the headphones when listening to music and watching videos. Can sing and duplicate pitch. The first song that we use, of course, is that Hello song that we used. And I'd also like to use that to get to a more challenging rhythm, which would be the Funga Alafia. And the hello rhythm I've written out here. It's very colorful, and we've also used our, you'll have to forgive me because this is really not good dry erase markers, but the first rhythm is the hello everyone, and the second rhythm, if the task is mastered, is the in this particular lesson, but I would expect that we would use that later on, is the funga alafia. We also want to be able to sing and duplicate the pitch of the hello song, clap the simple rhythms, and the simple rhythms being on the hello song, and the funga alafia, and a repeat to do that again, and then a rest, hands apart. Able to use instruments, shaker. For this purpose, we're going to use the maraca for that. We would use rhythm sticks. And eventually get to a more, the triangle, and I don't have that, and xylophones, and we'll work toward that. The pacing, at times it's easier to start with the buddy than with the group when performing, and also work at a slower pace. You're welcome to come back to the group and work with your buddy when that time is sufficient for Sophia. She usually always comes back to the group anyway. Giving that 5 second of response time within the group also works well for other children to show that they're connecting with their buddies and communicating with them and showing good eye contact with them. She loves bold colors. We've shown some examples of those bold colors, and we're also going to see some other examples. This is the other rhythm we want to eventually learn without the words. And this is the rhythm with the words written out. Eventually, we have what looks like this, and it would be copied over with colorful notation and instrument parts, and that would be also done individually so each student could have one. She is able to hold a mallet, but does require repetitive cues for proper technique. And the same with drumming. I don't have a drum in the studio to show you, but I would also do that with her. Sits in a circle next to her buddy very nicely, or with the teacher. Moving right along. Accommodations within the music class. We've also talked about that and showed you visuals and bolder, more colorful red or green print. Headphones with recorded rhythm patterns ahead of time is also a good tool to use. Slower pacing with repetitive cues. Phonetic language, as you've seen spelled out on some of those written cards, using color for pronunciation and comprehension. The headphones, again, with the videos, and here are the YouTube links, and I hope you enjoy those. Choices are given to work with buddy or smaller group for collaboration, and make sure that exchange of communication is taking place and good eye contact, and that the children are working with each other. Notes to regular or special education teacher are sent home to parents. This is a lesson plan that really goes over everything in a little bit more detail, and it was taken from the Teaching Music to Students with Special Needs, a practical resource by Hammel. You'll see that there are objectives, materials, procedures, rubric, assessments, adaptations, and modifications. The objective, the students will be able to make eye contact, receive and pass rhythm, and duplicate by using hands or other percussion instruments. Materials, drums, bongo, rhythm sticks, hands, shakers, triangles, etc. Now, and the materials will also be the cards and the big posters as indicated and shown previously. Students will sit in a circle. We showed the seating chart, some next to the teacher or buddy, Everyone has an instrument of their choosing. Parts will be assigned later. Teacher will teach the students two simple rhythmic patterns. The pattern should be taught in a group echo format. The teacher demonstrates the rhythm and the student echoes it back in unison. The teacher will then pass the rhythm around the circle by turning to his or her right and making eye contact with each student. Once eye contact has been made by the teacher, she plays the first rhythm taught to the group. The student who received the rhythm, in this case the first rhythm is the hello song, must then turn to the person to his or her right, making eye contact and repeat the rhythm. The process is repeated around the circle, making sure eye contact is made with each new person. When the students are proficient with this process, the teacher will then introduce the new rhythm. In this case, it's going to be Funga Alafia. When the students are proficient with this process, add instruments. The rubrics are students focusing on their conversational partners and letting them know they're listening to them, assisting them if need be before passing. Are students able to easily remember the rhythm given to them by their conversation partner and pass on correctly? How are students paying attention? Are they using the visuals and their bodies to play the instruments? When asking questions, are students able to know that this is a communication process by demonstrating and passing information? A listening and sensory exercise? Were the students in the group able to pay attention to their conversational partner or with their buddy? Adaptations, we talked about all of those, and you can read further about that. Once again, the phonetic language is written out for this particular student. Write the rhythm on the board. Practice clapping the rhythm with the group first. Watch for eye contact and use 5 seconds. Allow also for questions from the group. Modifications. The teacher may need to stay with one rhythm for several weeks to ensure eye contact and messages are being sent and received by students and their partners. Different levels of students. And this is because there are different levels of students. Keep rhythm simple before layering and adding more complex instruments like the xylophone. When adding the rhythms, can students tell the difference between two and recognize a quarter note from an eighth note and a rest? Hands apart and repeat. In summary, Sophia has adjusted well to her move to a smaller school. Her parents made a wise choice for her. We are halfway through the school year. Her team of special education teachers, therapists, and myself have worked well together on collaborating ideas to use in our classrooms and sessions to better serve Sophia. Her assessments and aptitude tests are showing progress, and we all take time to make sure she has what she needs to feel safe, valued, included, and have success in her learning. Thank you very much.